Well, hello everybody. Welcome to a early morning. It just flipped over to Tuesday morning.
It's a new day.
New day. It's a new day. The Wolves have not lost today. Last night, terrible, but today it's looking good so far. But I'm Andrew Dukowitz from ZoneCoverage. This is the Missing Wolves post-game live stream podcast, whatever. And Jonah Maves, my colleague from ZoneCoverage, is here tonight. Jonah, how about this game tonight, man?
What? Yeah. It's some of these things are just unexplainable. I mean, we've seen this with Wolves teams in the past, but to see it back-to-back games, really tough to wrap your head around. Really tough.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just it felt so similar to the Phoenix game, at least to me, where it was, you could kind of see the lead slipping away. You could see guys starting to, hey, we got a 10-point lead. Let's take the foot off the gas. There's no way they're going to try and come back and win this one. And I mean, they just got punked again, whether it's Malik Monk diving for loose balls, whether it's Russell Westbrook doing insane Russell Westbrook things, or DeMar DeRozan just, I mean, how many mid-range shots is he up to now over his career? I mean, that's
too many.
It just, to me, it seemed really, where Phoenix was probably more of like a calamity of errors, where it was just like all of these weird things are going
30-second span is crazy.
Yeah,
for that situation.
The Kings, it was just again, it felt like the Wolves were front running a little bit, and then the Kings just went back to the well and just continued to punish them with just DeRozan mid-range post-ups, which, I mean, what was your take as it's kind of fading away over the last 3 or 4 minutes there?
I mean, the most difficult thing for me was trying to gauge Ant's impact in clutch time, because he had the and one make, and then after that he had one possession where he practically threw a grenade to the corner, and he had 3 other possessions where he just missed shots. I mean, those directly flowed into Kings buckets, so it's like you can compartmentalize that little section towards like things shifting over a bit, I think, on Ant. I mean, it's the tricky concept of Ant puts you in the circumstances in these games. Ant had like 40 plus tonight. It sucks to have to criticize something this specific, because he had 40 plus tonight. I mean, he was dealing with all types of on-ball pressure from the Kings constantly in this one, which is something we just continue to see. Just throwing as many bodies at him as physically possible, but Ant trying to just not being able to capitalize there. And then, I mean, overtime, it was just the turnovers were unbelievable, truly unbelievable. The Jaden one where his hands were up on his head after he threw the pass, practically, he reacted so quickly. Rudy's outlet pass, Dante had the loose ball that he went after and just launched it. It's like, you never want to save the ball under your own basket. It's never great.
Yeah, no, I mean, unless
and then Randall, the cherry on top with the inbound. I mean, it's just the lack of attention to detail, the lack of consistency in these big moments. I mean, we kind of always talked about with past Wolves teams, is like, can they overcome that 5-minute sludgy stint that they always seem to have? And seeing it happen in the most important time of the game, I mean, just kind of epitomizes a lot of the issues we've seen. I mean, it's the most frustrating part is it goes back to like the Memphis series.
Yeah.
Way back when.
It truly does.
Which is it's hard to wrap your head around, because there's just not a lot. It sucks when time passes and you don't see the growth, I guess.
Yeah. It's crazy, because after the Phoenix game, I was thinking about that too, of like, man, like that's just like the Brandon Clark.
We'll never get it out of our head.
Like it just is like seared in there. And since that series, Ant, Jaden, and Nas are the only players that like were on that team. But like all of the mental things still are just there, which, I mean, first I want to address, John asks a good question in the chat here of just, is there an option for reporters to join Wolves post-game pressers via Zoom like I do with the Lynx? The Wolves currently do not offer any ability to call in, Zoom in. I mean, I think it's more the WNBA wants as many reporters to be able to cover their games as humanly possible because they don't have the exposure that the NBA does. I think if it were up to a lot of the teams in the NBA, they would want as bare minimum media as possible. I think the Wolves are a little bit of an exception. Like their PR staff is great. Like I do think they genuinely are kind of bummed that like Chris Hine isn't at road games anymore. But this is another one of those games where John's at home, Dane's at home, Britt's at home, Jason, Chris are at home. I had to work today and I do have to work tomorrow, so I am also at home. And there's, other than maybe if a Kings reporter walks over there, there's not going to be any locker room access or anyone asking questions, which you know, I can get on my high horse of like how frustrating it is that the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, the paper that sponsors the Minnesota Timberwolves, isn't sending their beat reporter, who is like one of the best reporters in the Twin City area.
There's some Glenn Taylor ties in there too.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Because like again, to like pull back the curtain for people, because I know this has been like a topic for the last couple of days, and then we'll get more into the game. But like Dane and Britt, for example, like they are small business owners that fund all of their own travel and hotel expenses. Everything comes out of their pocket. So if Dane is going to fly to a Monday night game in Sacramento, like that's money that's coming out of his pocket, which I don't know many people that just like, you know, own a podcast company that can afford to go to 41 road games. John goes to like quite a bit of them, but he's also like a dad that's super involved with his kids and like prioritizes his family really high. You know, Jace is similar. Also, he lives in like Wisconsin, I think, which like it's crazy that he's even at as much as he is for the Pioneer Press, given he's also, the Pioneer Press doesn't have like a travel budget for him. So like it would be coming out of his pocket. Other guys like me, Jonah, Charlie, Jack Borman, like the kind of not the main 4 or 5 guys you think of on the beat. Like almost all of us have day jobs or are in school, and we're like super privileged to be able to write and cover a team. But like, I don't have pick up and go to Sacramento money. I'm assuming, Jonah, you don't have pick up and go to Sacramento money.
Unfortunately not.
So it really kind of leaves it of just, you know, Chris at the Star-Tribune, who has always traveled with the team pretty much every game of the year. And this year, the Strib is making those decisions, which, as John and Jonah, you mentioned, like there might be some Glenn Taylor to it. I don't.
Who knows?
I don't know. I will say like the Star-Tribune is also, you know, like they don't have a Gophers women basketball reporter anymore because Kent Youngblood retired. So at Gophers games, it's like me and
it's just a weird time in the media space in general.
Yeah.
And it continues to be a weird.
Right.
It's like the stuff really needs focusing on key games like this. It's tricky. It's annoying that unless you're at a huge market or you just got some crazy budget, it's going to be tricky. I mean, these are important things to cover. These are the most important. It's been some of the most important games, if not the most important games of the season.
Yeah. Which like that sucks. I mean, it sucks for fans. I mean, I've, people who know me or people who are like in the media sphere with me, like know my thoughts and opinions on it of like the best content I get is like the, you know, B-roll practice films or just bullshitting with like a player off to the side. And that stuff when you're on the road is like pretty much all you do. So like if somebody wanted to only cover the Wolves on the road and you could monetize that content, like you'd probably be able to make it work, but it's just that's not how media is set up now. Like the Star Trib isn't putting hours of YouTube videos up like they should. Anyways, Jonah, back to the game here. So we've had a couple things. One Ren needs a new chair. He literally broke his, and has a Chris Finch comment about the end of the game plan. I mean, Jonah, what did you kind of feel Chris Finch's maybe like blame is on this one? Because I think this one had a little more to do with Chris Finch than maybe Phoenix did.
I think it's more like I'm mostly on the side of like give Ant the ball, see what he can do. Did I like what he did in the fourth quarter? I mean, it was a terrible process. He got to some shots. I mean, the little step through attempt was nice, but it wasn't like the best shots you want to get to towards the end of the game. And so much of that is just killer because it built so much Kings momentum the other way. They had just easy runouts and spots that they could get to. I mean, but I think it's tricky because this seems more like a culture thing. With if you want to put something towards Chris Finch, I think it's more of like, why do these same issues keep happening? It's hard to point a blame, but he's been there consistently this whole time. And you can't. I think it's the trickiest part is like, I don't think they should have gone to like a specific play call or anything. Like, they found decent looks. They didn't capitalize. They didn't execute. My question is, what would you want Finch to actually get to? Because things are limited when you have to have Rudy Gobert on the floor. When teams are going to, I mean, the whole Rudy thing is just continues to be a head scratcher on offense because it's the core reason why Ant gets blitzed so much. If you even bring a ball screen to him and make Rudy effective, where do you go from that? And if they get the ball out of Ant's hands, then you're not going to be satisfied watching at home. It's not going to the coaching staff doesn't want the ball to be whipping around, potentially laying in Gobert's hands or something at the end of the shot clock. Like, I think, I don't know. It's hard for me to really point. There's just a multitude of issues, it seems like, at this point to me, rather than one core blame. But you got to question the culture and why these lapses of judgment continue to happen.
Yeah, I guess like my issue with tonight was there didn't seem to be a lot of, I guess like how I kind of feel with this Wolves offense is like they are at their best when they are playing kind of through Randall as like a pseudo creator. And a lot of those end of the fourth quarter possessions were just Ant, here's the ball, dribble it for 18 seconds, and then try to make something work. And I don't know if the outcome would have been any different if they went to Randall and just had Randall do like a first action. I don't know if they would have been different if they would have said like Mike set up like a ball screen with Randall and then try and get it to Ant like on a secondary thing. I just don't know. It just seemed like it was, like you just said, like just kind of save us offense. Like, Ant, you got to do something, which I think if you're DeMar DeRozan matched up against Dante DiVincenzo, like probably fair, right? But if you're Anthony Edwards getting like triple teamed the second he steps across the 3-point line, it was tough. And I thought his substitutions were better. I really liked him going with Mike more at the end. I kind of thought maybe
it's
going
weird
with
to
Mike.
Kind of a flip berth.
Yeah. Like I thought like that was okay. I mean, Jalen Clark, he went with in overtime, and that was tough. I mean, that was
actually,
tough.
After the Phoenix game, I mean, that was one of the biggest criticisms with Finch is why wasn't Jalen Clark on the floor when DiVincenzo got burned on Colin Gillespie's game winner. And then you put Jalen Clark out there and he does the worst possible thing outside of like a technical or an ejection or something crazy. The worst possible thing you can do. And that is foul, giving them a free throw, giving them possession back in a, making it not a one possession game. I mean,
yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah, it's just, and I like Jim Pete trying to explain it on the broadcast of just like, it looked like Jalen wasn't expecting Monk to just streak towards the basket, but it's just kind of like, well, I mean, there's only two
Kings
things
brought everyone into the backcourt. I was like, I'm scared. I don't like where this is going.
I was like, this is going to end bad.
Someone's going to get wide open on the other side.
Yeah, it was just like that. That's a tough Jalen Clark moment. You mentioned the turnovers. I mean, the Jaden one was
directly into a three.
Yep, directly into the ended up being kind of the three that was all they really needed. The Julius turnover, the Dante flip, the Rudy turnover. I mean, yeah, it's just a weird. It's just a weird loss that, Ren actually, I shouldn't say actually. Ren, you bring up many good points most of the time, but also, I mean, a lot of ISO and free flow offense. I did see someone else said here, Cole said it here, of just like, why doesn't Finch run more plays consistently? Which, I mean, the beginning of the fourth quarter, Ant and Randall were both off of it. Rob was kind of doing Rob stuff, and it did seem like they were trying to set up more, but I don't know. I guess, Jonah, like what's kind of your thought on Finch's offense this year? Because I'll be honest, I've known you for 3 years now. This doesn't seem like a Jonah Maves offense that you would enjoy.
Hey, so here's the situation is that Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert empty side actions 3 years ago was fantastic offense. I mean, when they traded for Conley, the big thing was unlocking Rudy Gobert, making him feasible offensively. And that's exactly what it did. Conley shot like career high. I feel like I've written about this about 1 billion times on how Conley being so good that first full season is almost like it's almost made things more difficult moving forward. Because so much of the offense was reliant on those just empty side actions. They tried to get to one in the fourth quarter after Ant missed. I think it was after one or two of Ant's misses, they flipped over to like an empty side. It's just the Conley little flex screen where he comes up, wraps around Gobert. They go into 2-man action. I mean, it's just not a high percentage look anymore. I mean, if you throw what percentage of the time that they run do they actually get a lob to Gobert or an easy bucket to Gobert, or do you want to trust Mike Conley
that
pull up three? His floater has been broken since he got here, I swear.
I mean, it is wild how he made a career off of a floater and now it's just gone. But
I feel like it was good in that half season. I feel like it was good in that half season after he was acquired. But I mean, it's just not something you want to rely on that heavily into the offense. I mean, both on the court and Conley doesn't have the ball. He's just going to be a spot up in the corner. It's just, I think just so much of Rudy and Conley's 2-man game was just so heavily incorporated to the offense that now that they have to kind of take it out, it's like, what do you put in there? I mean, similar with, I mean, you can't even call it like a set play or action, but even just simply giving Ant ball screens is an effective offense because they are just, I mean, the blitz, we saw the blitz numbers. They showed good graphics during the OKC Western Conference Finals last season that Ant was just getting blitzed nonstop. And it feels like even tonight, it felt like so egregious with just the pressure and comfortably forcing Ant to become just uncomfortable. I mean, he's got to make tough reads, split decisions. there's the second guessing of trusting Rudy on the roll, which I totally understand. Like,
Yeah. I mean, he
is
did
it
it
the right
again
pass to
tonight
make?
where
It's the right pass to make, but is that going to finish in a high quality possession? Here and there, Rudy will show like a good short roll pass, but when the buckets matter the most, is that what you want to do? No, I don't think so.
it's such a like indictment of I mean, the other thing, just first before I get into it, of just like the other thing that I think is unsustainable for this team is the isolation percentage that they run, where like Ant and Julius are in the top 10. And that's just
Julius has been great, but sustainable, like you said, we'll see.
It's just, I don't know how that can, like, eventually teams are going to just stack up against the ISO. And like Jaden,
Especially with the lack of off-ball movement.
Yeah. And to the Rudy point of, it's kind of been beaten to death at this point, but like Rudy does need touches on offense for his defense to get to that level it needs to be at. And when he's not getting touches on offense, like seems like he's a pretty tough hang. It just,
And you just
I
need
don't
to
know.
use him eventually. You can't completely avoid him like the plague on offense. Like teams just won't care about him even more than they already do. So
it's such a hard spot for this team to be in, because like there isn't a lot of cutting, there isn't a lot of movement. Rudy just kind of camps out like baseline, and then you have two guys just doing ISO trying to make something work. And like so far it's been fine, but tonight was another like eye-opening moment of just kind of like, oof, yeah, this is still a work in progress. I've seen a couple people in chat bring up like Wolves need a point guard. Jonah, I haven't talked to you about that yet, so I want to get your thoughts on it. But first, ad reads, because ad reads are important too, just like a point guard, but ads. Well, hello. Thank you, Livestream Andrew. This is Ad Read Andrew. And today we have Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, the presenting sponsor for the Missing Links podcast. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling strives to inspire people to follow their ideas, working with respect and understanding to create a quality, tailored result. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, located in Blaine and serving in the North Metro area, is here to help you with your building and remodeling needs. I can say personally, thanks to Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, I have a beautiful deck in my backyard, and countless projects that I started, they finished. Get started on your new deck or remodel today by calling Isaac at 763-710-5686. And we're back with another ad read, this time for Pence Homes, the presenting sponsor of Hitting the Hardwood Network. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Nate Pence and the Pence Homes team is the top choice for buyers, sellers, and is proud to support you and your home ownership goals. Get started today by calling 612-308-1122 or by emailing info@pencehomes.com. So, Jonah, point guard, I think, was something at the beginning of the season that was a very hot topic. Well, first here, I'm going to address this quick because Cole says Finch didn't do a press conference. Wow. No one was there to do a press conference for him. So, like, if there's
I don't know what you say either, but it's going to be nothing of substance.
My big takeaway from that is Finch would sit at the podium for 45 seconds. No one would ask him anything, and then he would walk away. Like, the only reason we got one after Phoenix was because I think some Phoenix reporter wandered over into the room. So, like, again, this is more reason to email the Star Tribune, say, hey, you guys need to rethink your travel schedule. Email, I don't know who else on the beat would be going to games that much, but email Dane Moore and be like, hey man, how do I sponsor your podcast so you can make some more dollary dues to be able to afford it? Support local businesses, be a Patreon subscriber to the Missing Wolves. Maybe I'll start going to road games next year. there's things you can do, but yeah, unfortunately, like no one's there, so no coach is gonna just sit there and like muse off the dome for 6 minutes about everything that went wrong. I I kind of figured that would come up in here, but it's just dumb. Like media, sports media. Anyways, Jonah, point guard. What are your thoughts? Do you think that would solve problems for the Wolves if they went out and made a trade? Do you think a trade's even like feasible?
In theory, I think it would be great, but when you look at their assets they're working with, I don't know what you feel comfortable giving up. That's where it gets really tricky. And I mean, so much of it comes back to many of these. I'd have to think. I mean, there's the. I think it's definitely been a hot topic, but I think when you take a step back and look at many of the other issues, I think there's bigger issues to solve than the point guard issue. It's like Dante has been moved into a lot more off-ball stuff this year, and he still makes a lot of the same very questionable turnovers. I think it's just it's becoming more of a roster construction thing as a whole rather than point guard issue. Like you still want to have some patience there with Rob. It's he's just small. He's very small. And it's more of it's not even like a height thing, it's like a weight thing, which I had a good conversation in my DMs with someone the other day after I sent some Rob tweets off. It's so important. It's so difficult for these small guards to be good when you don't have like all the good ones are a little more stockier. I mean, they got a little bit more weight to them. It's like, do you want Rob to add on that weight and take away from some of his quickness? It's just a whole nother tricky spot to find within there. I like Conley makes plays here and there, but I'm really waiting on the Conley minutes. I don't think there's much positives there than there is, because even when he's out there, they're still making. It's not like the turnover. They don't mitigate their turnovers like crazy different when he's out there. I'd have to imagine he's not as dynamic that pass away from Ant.
Yeah, the Conley stuff is really tough because like. I mean, I'll preface it. Like, he's one of my favorite players. Like, even before I started doing media stuff, like it was Jason Kidd retired, I hopped on Mike Conley's bandwagon and have been there ever since. Like, it's tough because he's still shooting at a pretty good clip. He still has, like, when he has the ball in his hands and is running the offense, like it looks okay. But this team doesn't really need like a floor general point guard that like runs.
The ceiling's so capped with that. It's
right.
It's not even like a ceiling. It's just like the good outcome is just average. It seems like with Conley right now.
Exactly. So it's like, even if Conley was, playing at the best that he can right now, like I don't think that makes, like you said there, I don't think it raises their ceiling enough. Rob, this game may have been one of his best games, like as a Wolf. Like he didn't score at all, but defense, he was hustling. He had a nice steal under the basket, like on
the quick steals has been a fun little spot for him defensively.
And there are guys, like if he could be like an Alvarado, who is a little bit bigger than him defender, where it's just annoying. Like he could probably get 15 minutes a game. But I don't know if he's at a point where like his body would even hold up to like 30 minutes of just getting smacked around.
I mean, even his 6-minute stints are sometimes just a roller coaster. I mean, he'll, like the Phoenix game, his first stint, like he made a absolutely terrible read when he caught a pass on the wing, drove, second guessed his pass, threw it away, and then he hit like 2 jump shots like the next 2 possessions. It's just it's so many levels of extremes on both ends. I mean, which is he's really the anti-Conley. It's funny to see the complexes there. It's so different.
Yeah, it's and I mean, for me, it will always be kind of the turnovers. Like, just Chris Finch has a type. Like, it's just been established now that he wants a low turnover backup point guard. And Rob, again, tonight, great. No turnovers. Like, that's probably why he got more run in the fourth quarter, is because he kept the turnovers, like, clean. But, like, he can get you 3 turnovers in 2.5 minutes just because he's, like, out there wheeling. And
He's not
like
proven enough to like stick on the court through that too. That's the
right.
trickiest spot.
So it's like when it comes to like bringing in an actual, like, I'll be completely transparent. Like, Ja Morant, even outside of the attitude stuff that's kind of been surfacing, like, he's kind of been on the decline the last 3 years. Like, I don't know if I
Injury
would take a chance
concerns.
on a non-shooting athletic point guard that's finishing at the rim has gone like into the tank. Trey is super intriguing, but like, if it's Trey Young, that's $50 million in salary you got to match, and they don't want Gobert. So that's like Julius and Jaden, or Julius, Dante, Rob, TJ.
And the Hawks are playing good basketball without Trey.
Right. So then it's De'Aaron Fox. Like, you're, again, the Spurs don't want Gobert.
I just think they're better off
48.
Like, just playing the same starting lineup of now and worrying about other holes, like,
yeah,
backup big spot.
Ellis, I would take Ellis from the Kings. They don't play him anyways, so if they want to send him over here, like, we'll give you Leonard Miller. Salaries match.
Yeah. Who knows? They need to get on the phone with the Kings and the Bulls. Make it happen.
Go. Yeah, the point guard thing, I hate to be like the wet blanket. I just don't. I really firmly don't think it's going to happen. Like, I think any team that is in the market of moving an all-star point guard, like, doesn't want Julius Randle or Rudy Gobert. And then after that, it's like, are you going to mortgage Jaden, Dante, Rob, Terrence, and Jalen just to make the salaries work? Because Mike's not getting traded. Like, he just isn't. Like,
unless he goes to Memphis, that's the only place I could ever see him go.
Yeah, like, his kids are in school here. He has 3 young kids. He's like borderline assistant basketball coach for one of his kids. The team loves him. The community.
He's borderline assistant basketball coach for this team sometimes.
I mean, that's the other thing. Like, if Mike isn't on the team, I don't know who's helping Ant through film reviews. Like, the behind the scenes stuff would just tank immediately. Cole kind of asks another question I think it'd be good to finish on here as we're getting that 30-minute mark. But just, what do you think will happen to this team? Again, assuming they make the playoffs, and it's probably, first or second round they get bounced. Like, do you feel like this core gets shaken up this offseason? Or are you more positive on them that, like, they could be a Western Conference Finals team still?
I'm not as worried about like the true win-loss results. I think I'm more just worried about like the on-court product, because they can beat these. They have enough talent to beat these poor teams, but it's just like when they play these other talented rosters around the league. I mean, you can talk about the whole over 500 thing, but I think there's a lot of relevance to that. But even tonight, they just didn't even look sharp against this Kings team that's down Sabonis. Their big man, it's Drew Eubanks, Precious Achiuwa, and Maxime Reynaud. Like, that is their big man rotation. And I mean,
it's not great.
No. I mean, just not being able to just assert their will and look better. Like, the score might say one thing, but at times it didn't seem like they were just truly way better than this Kings roster, which is just, it's concerning. So I think I just continue to be more worried about the process of things rather than, and just the roster construction of things. It leads you to fully retrospectively kind of look at last year's playoffs too. I mean, I think they were better than the Lakers last year.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. The Warriors series, Curry's out, and then they get destroyed by OKC. So it's just like, it says Western Conference Finals on there, but it's hard to really put it into full perspective of how good they were last year. I mean, the whole second half run was against teams that weren't that great or were tanking.
I think it's lot of
just
tanking teams. Like the Cooper Flag stuff was.
I think it's
like
just
they played a Brooklyn game where I don't think I knew anyone on the
I think they had
court.
2 Brooklyn games.
Yeah, it was bad.
Beautiful scheduling, but I think it's a little bit of a reality check of where they're at. I mean, I don't think there's going to be many changes soon, but if it comes mid-season, it's going to get tricky, especially the fact that they own the swap rights to their draft pick this year.
Yeah. I mean,
so, assets aren't looking fantastic. So
I think again, like we're at a like enough of a sample size now where we can kind of look at this team and it is very similar to last year. Like they just don't seem to really care about these bad teams, and they've been bowling them over because Rudy really cares about beating bad teams. And like Jaden's been really good. Julius has been really good, but like it still is kind of the same vibe around the team. It's still kind of the same questions around the team.
The synergistic things of like things don't really gel crazy with this team. Like they have great individual talent across the board, but it's like the only real synergy is like Conley, Gobert. It's like that is not what you want to rely on. They occasionally hit like a little quick handoff with like Randall and Ant, but when do you see Randall and Ant really like dynamically working together? I mean, it was an issue we kind of had with Cat and Ant at some points. It was like, how much do they positively impact each other rather than just being pure very good at basketball?
That honestly, like that's a good question. Like, what do you think the ideal star is around Ant? Because like he hasn't really just, gelled with anyone to that level. Like even you're right, like the Cat and Ant stuff. It was a lot of just almost your turn, my turn, Julius and Ant. It's just very ISO dependence. When Julius,
the most I can think of with Cat is like he'd occasionally wrap around him when Cat would kind of stick his back end out and get like a little rub screen on people, and he'd hit him with a little hook pass, given the hook pass was on target, but you never know.
Because like the Ant, like even like Ant and Reed, like isn't great. Like Ant, I think looks for Jaden quite a bit, but I wouldn't say Jaden's play style is like an all-star play style. Like he's just
that's just like a kick out to the corner most of the time because they eat people on him.
So it's really interesting to think about like what, like if they were to like pull the trigger and say like they trade Randall, Dante, and Reed, and they go out and get like Trae Young. Like I don't know how much it would actually like change things. I think it would still just be a your turn, my turn offense where one of them is just kind of standing and watching at all times.
Yeah, it's just it's interesting to look at the whole roster construction of everything. We do need a younger Mike Conley would be nice. That'd be cool.
Young people my age in our 30s and olders remember Mike Conley on the Grizzlies scoring like 30s relatively often, where it was all just mid-range floaters and like step backs, and that would help a lot of things.
Conley was so fast.
He was so good.
He was rapid.
He had this thing where like Zach Randolph and Gasol would come up and do like horn screens for him. You'd like fake one way, cut back the other way, stop on a dime, and like hit a jumper on the elbow. And it's just like,
zooming around.
How do your ankles not implode? Like how does not everything break?
Makes your body hurt.
I mean, it's probably why he walks around like such an old man now, because like his ankles are just done. But I mean, Iman says Trey Jones. I mean,
It's funny that pause, time out. It is so strange how Tyus Jones gets so much more credit for people wanting to bring him back when Trey Jones is clearly the better player right now.
yeah, Tyus Jones isn't great. Trey Jones is
not looking great.
I mean, Cole says, doesn't he suck? I wouldn't say Trey Jones is like. I don't think you're like happy if it's Trey Jones, but like, you know,
it's still the same mold of like the Mike Conley conservative land of point guards where you might get some good games. They're not going to be anything crazy, but you're going to get some steady, consistent play. It's yeah.
Which, like, my only thought with the ant of it all, of like, if this season does just end kind of flat, like they're the 4 seed and they get blown out of the water by the Nuggets in the first round or in the second round, and it's done. Like maybe Ant just really is Harden 2.0, and you just need to downgrade from Randall and get better shooting everywhere. And like
they haven't really. I mean, that's got to be the next chapter.
Just
with
completely embrace the 40% usage Ants and just surround him with as much shooting as humanly possible, and then lengthy defenders.
Like, I still stand by the Rudy trade being good for I mean, it was so many assets. Yes.
Godfrey brings up that we could have surrounded Ant with Walker Kessler and Keontae George.
I mean, Walker Kessler is not looking great right now. He's not going to be back for a while, but no. Keontae George is playing well. Good for him. I liked him as a draft guy. I don't know why. I just liked him. I mean, like the Gobert trade ultimately boosted their ceiling from where it was in the Pat Bev, like Jared Vanderbilt team.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's just, I think we've seen everything we possibly can with this iteration of the roster. Which felt like it felt like OKC destroying them last year felt like that in the first place. Even if they had Fantasyland, second apron doesn't exist, Nickeil Alexander-Walker is still here, I still think you see so many of the same issues.
I would agree with that.
It's something's got to change. And I mean, like, the next chapter has to be some way, somehow playing to Ant's strengths a little more offensively. It's Ant's development, no doubt, his rapid development, no doubt, has been a factor of the situation. I think he's became a better playmaker and passer because he sees these crazy coverages. It's accelerated his development. Same with his 3-point shooting. I mean, it has been a little crazy to see him become such a good shooter. There is a little craziness in there. And I mean, I'm sure he puts the work in behind the scenes, but I feel like so much of his development has been because of the situation that this offense has been for years now.
It would be like, I do think this offseason, like, you know, Gobert, he becomes infinitely more tradable. Like, he has 1 year plus a player option left. Like, that's more swallowable. Anyways, like, 12:43 in the morning Central. Anyways, like, I think you can go like, hey, like, Dallas, you know what you guys really need? A Gobert. Like, have fun with Kyrie, Gobert, Flag, and Davis, and maybe they can talk there, or LA, or someone will talk themselves into it. Like, I don't think you're getting assets back in that trade, but like, I think the trade's doable at least. Like, Julius is the one where I think if you were to pull that trigger and trade him, I think you could like break him up into 2 like solid players.
I mean, his contract is a very good value, I'd say.
So like, if you're trading Julius,
but
then you're really saying like, okay, we're revamping this team, which that might be what they need to do. I mean, I'm still pretty confident like they will figure out the regular season and blow through teams and make the playoffs and probably be a fun playoff team. But I think you're right that this is probably the peak of the roster. Is
They
it
no
gives
doubt
you
have like enough talent to still win a lot of games, like you
yeah,
said.
like they
Like
have a chance, right?
they're not
Like
terrible. It's not
right,
like
they're
the
not bad.
Kings.
This is going to be like a 45 to 55 win Wolves team. Like this is going to be a fun season. It's also going to be infuriating because they're probably going to like biff a game to Charlotte later on. Cole, we'll close with your question here of just people saying Ant's already peaked. I mean, Jonah, I'll let you take the honors first here. Has Ant already peaked?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, there's still a lot of room to grow.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of room for growth. I think he's become pretty fairly ranked at this point. Like he's a top 10 player in the league, but it's just like when you look at that next group of players above him, it feels like a long ways away sometimes, which is credit to all those players. And it's crazy to see the difference with how much room there still is to grow. We still forget Ant's like 24 years old, something ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's still a whole nother gear we can shift into. And I think it's just all of the development so far in these past 3-4 seasons makes me feel more bullish on there still being so much more room for growth and it being feasible, I think. I think it's just a lot of circumstantial stuff with the team. He does a lot for this team at the end of the day. That's why it's like I said earlier, it's tricky in these games where same with the Phoenix game, he had some miscues. It's like he had these two incredible games back to back. You look at the box score, Phoenix and Kings games, Ant played phenomenally. You look into the details of the late game stuff.
Ant doesn't do this.
Exactly. Or even hold the lead.
Yeah.
I mean, he completely turned the tides in the Suns game in the third quarter there. But it's so difficult when you see some of the late game stuff and you put the direct blame on him, or you can also come back to putting the blame on people around him. I think that's the trickiest spot is it's hard to see kind of a cut and dry issue with this team and just where Ant kind of needs to grow overall, what he excels in, spots of weakness at the moment. But you can't really deny like the true impact of the back-to-back games. I mean, he ultimately is the reason why this team is serious. And it's going to stay that way.
I would say I don't know where Ant's ceiling is going to be. I would bet pretty much anything that we're not at it yet, though. Like that guy is just like a psychopath of a competitor. Like he has a nonstop work ethic. I mean, you look at his shot, how much it's developed. He went and worked on his handle this offseason. Like handle's a lot tighter. Like I don't know what he did other than like apparently Chris Hines made him wear dribble gloves and he's like never done that before.
Chris Hines is working magic. I don't know what he does, now. But
Ant's like never used to really do squats because it hurts my back, but now like do them all the time and helps with my ball handling and like hunching over. And it's like whatever. Like his 3-point shooting is still elite. Like he's back to finishing at the rim better. Like his isolation play is significantly better. Like I think Ant is still 2 or 3 years away from being the best version of Ant, which the caveat to that is I don't know if the best version of Ant is ever going to be Jokic or SGA or Giannis, because those three are, I mean, Giannis is putting up like a 35-point triple-double every night. Like that's insane. Like if Ant's ever putting up 35-point triple-doubles on average every night, like
be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Like I don't know if that's his ceiling, but like I would still say like this guy is going to be a top 5 player in the league for probably half a decade. And he's 24, so we don't really even know.
It's got to maximize it somehow.
Yeah, we don't really know
Somewhere.
what he's going to look like 3 years from now, but it could be really scary. And that goes for, honestly, that goes for Jaden too, because Jaden's progressing like how normal human beings progress in the NBA, where it's like incremental and positive every
It's
year.
just everyone knew this could happen somehow, some way. It's just we're finally seeing it.
So it's like
The
it
amount
could
of
be
Jaden McDaniels offense breakout articles that have been written at Zone Coverage.
I've written at least 4 of them.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, if not more. Like, yeah,
But like it is one of those things where like they got a franchise cornerstone, they got a running mate with him in Jaden. I don't know what Nas is long term. I don't know what Johan is, TJ, any of those other guys, but you
That's
got
fatty
kind of
for me
2 of
right
the
now.
3 checklists, 2 of the 3 things you need checked off of like the guy and then like the other guy. You might have them both, so it's a good place for them to be. Jonah, it's almost 1 a.m. I'm gonna call it. I do want to give you the opportunity though. Anything you want to plug, anything you're working on, anything come out recently you're proud of?
It's gonna be. I'm gonna have to ponder what I want to write this week because it's just all over the place every week. It seems like. But you can follow me over at Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I still call it Twitter.
Me too.
Huncho_J-Man, HUNCHO_J-Man. That's where the majority of my stuff's going to be centered around. So just go follow me over there and find me other places.
Awesome. Thanks, Jonah. I appreciate it, man. And we'll be back doing this again after the Oklahoma City Thunder game, which, woof, maybe that one will. Maybe they won't have like a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter to blow. Maybe it'll just be like.
It's gotta hope everyone, all Wolves fans, are having a good Thanksgiving away from watching their basketball product.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe like keep the alerts on your phone and turn it on if it looks like it's going to be good, but that one might be. I mean, a team coming off of 2 horrible losses flying from the West Coast to Oklahoma City versus the Thunder, who have been just buzzsawing people, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, we'll see. We will
see. We'll be here after the game. So until then, everybody, go Wolves. We'll give it a go Wolves, I guess.
Good vibes.